Hey guys, this is Mrs. Keller. I teach AP Biology, and I am really glad that you're here to learn a little bit more about the class. So I'm going to kind of just go over what AP Biology is, some of the benefits of AP, some of the stuff we do, just so you can kind of get an idea of what our class is all about. So I'm going to start with just a brief description of AP Biology. It is a life science course. It is intended to be an introductory biology course that's taken by biology majors in their first year of college, whether it's at a four-year university or even at a community college. So how is this different than what you took your freshman year? Well, we're obviously going to go into a little more depth on some of the topics, and we're going to actually talk about some topics that you did not cover, say, in pre-AP biology. We will be doing lots of different labs, and you will have kind of a textbook that goes into more detail than what you might be used to from some of your other science classes. But in addition to kind of learning about biology, there are some skills that you're going to learn in this course that you can use in some of your other science courses or even some of your classes that aren't necessarily science. So some things we're going to do that are more science related or skills you'll learn are things like designing an experiment. So for example, there will be several times throughout each semester that you will design your own lab or your own experiment, basically testing a hypothesis that you and your group come up with. You'll also get a chance to really learn how to write proper responses using evidence. You guys probably did that a lot in your pre-AP classes. We're going to be interpreting different data, drawing conclusions from that. We do a lot of academic conversations with one another, and also just kind of learning how to collect data properly and then analyze it from there. So that's kind of an overview of the course. I'm going to go back over here and show you some of the topics that we do each semester. So semester one really is kind of chemistry heavy. Sometimes that scares people a little bit, especially if chemistry wasn't your favorite class. However, please keep in mind that it's not all chemistry. And some of this stuff I think you'll find super interesting, especially when we talk about cells and how they communicate with one another. We'll talk a little bit about the immune system in regards to that. And then in semester two, this is where we get into genetics. So a lot of people like learning about heredity. We'll talk a little bit about evolution, and then finally ecology. In each of these semesters, you'll have several labs that you'll do that are associated with each of the outcomes. So as you can see, semester one is 4 outcomes, and so is semester 2. All right, so what are some benefits of taking AP Bio? Well, I think one of the best benefits of AP Bio is being able to take a more rigorous course with all the support of your teachers and also your peers. I really like to make AP Bio a place where you feel comfortable asking your friends or asking me questions, and hopefully we're just kind of build this sense of community throughout the year. And I think that's really nice and something that you may not see when you get to college, or at least not as frequent. You also get college credit. So if you get a 3, 4, or 5, especially if you get a 3, you may get college credit from certain universities. Some universities require 4 or 5. It really just depends on where you're going. But this is an opportunity for you to get some college credit and to save a little bit of money, so you don't have to take it when you get to either your community college or to a four-year university. Some other things that I think are important or useful in taking AP Bio is being able to think critically about some sort of scientific phenomenon. So we all know about fake news, things like that. We heard a lot about things with COVID in the news that weren't necessarily true. And so I'm hoping that when people leave my course, they can read something or listen to something on the news and be able to think critically about it. Like, does this make sense? And be able to draw your own conclusion. We're also going to obviously dive deeper into the biological world. We're going to learn things that you didn't learn in your freshman year that might be useful in any of your future careers, whether it be nursing, or if you want to be a doctor, a pharmacist, or a lab technician, like a phlebotomist or something like that. So all of this stuff, or biology, would be extremely useful for those fields. All right, so some things that you might want to have coming into class. I will give this out in the first day of class, but it's always kind of nice to know what you need. So this is just a list of things that are required every day. I think the most important thing, though, is to come into class with a positive attitude. Yes, this class may be hard sometimes, but we are going to get through this class together. And so I just think if you have a positive mindset, that you will find this class totally doable, especially with all the support of myself and also the friends that you may have in your class. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you, or one of the last things, is grading. I know this is important to students to know how they are assessed and where the line is between an A and a B or a B and a C. So unfortunately or fortunately, I use the national average as far as scores or as far as grades go. So basically every year the College Board releases the averages for AP Biology or any AP course, and so I use those percentages. So for example, if this was, I guess, when 2021, if you had about a 77% or above on the AP exam, that would have been a 5. So in our class, in an outcome assessment, if you get a 77% or above, that would be an A. And so you can see 60 and up is a B, that would have been a 4. 48% and up is a C, that would have been a 3. And then below that would be a failing grade, and that would be a 2 or a 1. Your component assessments are graded a little bit differently. They're not the same percentages, and this is an option 2 course, so your formatives do count in your final grade. So this just kind of gives you an idea of how you are assessed. And lastly, I'm just going to show you my contact information. If you ever have any questions about AP Bio that you want cleared up, you can always email me. I am also in the division chair office, which is in E202, so you can always come see me. You can ask your current science teacher any questions, and that teacher could reach out to me. And then obviously, I don't think you guys are going to call me, but my phone number is there as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to go over any questions, especially if you're feeling a little nervous or if this is your first AP class. I would love to sit down with you and just really kind of talk you through it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next year.